This is Kodak Charmera. But who needs such small portable camera right now in 2026 when you have a smartphone? But still, I had to wait 2 full months in order to get this thing in my hands. All you need to know about this small camera. It's digital, mirrorless, 1.6 megapixel sensor, can do photo and video, has none built-in filters, has a flashlight which is worthless, has micro SD card slot, small color screen, and charges via USB Type-C. Available in surprise box only, so officially you cannot choose the color. Mine is red, which is cool, but getting a transparent one would be much cooler. And also in the box you can find cable, keychain, and some paper stuff. One set of mystery box costed me 45 euros at local Sony center, but there are always options available on eBay with open box options, so while paying double sometimes you can choose the color. But back to the camera. The pictures on this device is either overexposed or underexposed. The flashlight that you could see before is absolutely worthless unless you are doing macro, because the power of this flashlight is more similar to a candle than a traditional flashlight. But these pictures, they have soul. As a person whose childhood was shot on a film camera from the 80s, I really enjoyed the result. These pictures look old, and in order to distinguish them from the original old pictures from 2002, you have to look into details, which makes photo taking and looking at the photos like a purposeful action. Quality of these pictures is worse than your phone, even if you will shoot on your selfie camera only. Macro, forget about it. And all you can say about this camera, it shoots pictures and records videos with some sound, and that's pretty much it. But if you want to have a look of an old retro camera, why not to buy one? So the answer is pretty simple. I hate physical clutter. Having a traditional film camera means that you have to go to the photo studio in order to receive your photos you have made on the film, and then you have to store these photos somewhere, which takes place. It also weighs a lot, like lots of albums and lots of photos, it weighs a lot. But here all you need to have is a micro SD card, which you put into this device, and then you just put it on your computer and you are able to download all of the photos you have made. And have I mentioned that this micro SD card can be up to 256 gigabytes, meaning that you have a lot of space for your photos and videos. But as you could see before, the video and the microphone here are totally garbage, so meaning that all you need to know that this is primarily a photo camera, meaning that photos will look great, will look kinda retro, but I guess that in case of emergency you can film something like a total spy like this. Also, there is an option to use filters for your smartphone. So when shooting on your phone, you are able to put some sort of filters and get similar result. But to be honest, that's not totally true. First of all, it's not pretty ethical when you're speaking to someone and you want to capture the moment to get out to your phone and to take a picture, so meaning that it will distract both you and other people around because you are having a phone in your hands. So that's why this camera comes in really handy, because all you need to do, you need to take it out of your pocket, point and shoot. And then you have a retro-looking vibey photo, meaning it is already prepared in order to be published on some social media like Instagram. So with this camera you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You get the picture, it is ready to get published, it is in a digital format, and at the same time you are being present and you capture the moment. Using this camera was a really fun experience. First of all, I can put this camera in any pocket, in any fanny pack. I can put it on the keychain because it has a loop, and the keychain also is included in the box. So that's why you can carry it with you wherever you go. Of course, I would highly recommend you to put it on the backpack instead of in the backpack, because these buttons tend to press by itself when it is in your pocket, and you get photos like this, where you cannot see nothing, but it consumes battery, and the battery here is not the best. The thing is that I have understood that this camera is more to be present in the moment. So you get underexposed or overexposed pictures, you get garbage sound, you get garbage video, but it has some soul, it has vibe. And that's why I would highly recommend you this camera. It doesn't cost a lot. It costed me around 45 euros to get one from the official store, and of course you can choose the color, and I'm pretty happy that I have the red one, but as told before, it would be much more preferable for me to have a transparent one, but it's like a very limited edition and it's really hard to get. But in any case, is this camera worth getting? For me, like, definitely, because capturing the moment while being on the go, and you do not need to carry this huge machine which I'm filming myself on right now, or you do not need to take the phone out and get distracted on your all of the notifications, all of the messages, and so on, and like scroll a couple of TikToks. And that means that when you want to take a picture, you just take it out and you take a picture. You charge this camera via USB Type-C, it's very convenient, and it charges pretty fast, because the battery here is also not the greatest, but still you can charge it, and I guess that right now in 2026 lots of people have USB Type-C laying around, and if you do not have, it comes in the box. As told before, downsides also exist. The battery is not the best. Of course, in some cases it may last you 1 or 2 days, but then you have to put it on a charger. But since this camera is really small and you can charge it and use it at the same time, that means that you can go with a power bank and to take photos while charging this camera. Also the flashlight here is more like a cringy addition, because this camera, it cannot go in dark mode. The sensor is too small. The focal length is not the best. The macro, as you can see, it's also not the best, but there is something in it. It has some retro soul in it, meaning that this camera is a perfect thing for me, at least. Another thing, software-wise, when you are shooting with this camera, when you're turning it on, it asks you which mode would you like to use, photo or video, and it doesn't remember which was the last option that you have chosen. And that's not the best thing for me, at least because I would prefer to turn on the camera and to have camera ready, because I do not film videos on this camera, unless what you have seen today. And that is really annoying, because you have to press one more time. The software is not very slow, but it's not the fastest, so that's why you have spent additional seconds and you may have lost the moment. But I guess it's too much to ask from such a small camera for such small price, because this camera works. It has screen, it has micro SD card slot, it has Type-C, and it's really small and lightweight. The body is really well done. It's pretty much shockproof if you have dropped it from not very high distance, and if you have broken it, the motherboard inside is really small, same as the battery, meaning that this camera can be used for a pretty long period of time. And for me personally, I'm very happy with it, and I carry it on my backpack very, very often.